Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jennifer Meckles. Today marks 13 years since the Aurora Theater shooting. Every year since, people have gathered at midnight, honoring the 12 people and one unborn baby that were killed that night, as well as the 70 others injured in the shooting. Our Ann Herbst was there at midnight overnight last night, talking to people about why it's important to keep coming together and supporting each other and remembering.
13 is a number often charged with feelings. Tonight, this 13
We'll never forget what's happening.
is one Tony Kurtzinger can hardly believe.
I'm just like in awe that it's been so long and how many years we've been doing this.
This, a vigil every year at midnight on July 20th to remember the 12 killed and 70 injured in the Aurora Theater shooting in 2012.
So we have crosses for the people that we lost that night, but then we also have the 70 cranes here that represent pretty much our healing journey.
Tony is on that journey, now 13 years long.
Where I was injured, along with 8 of my other friends. And I was actually pregnant with my son at the time, who actually turns 13 in 2 weeks.
Also, 13 years to grow older without her friend.
Alex Sullivan, yeah, we lost him that night on his birthday. So my son actually knew he wouldn't be born that day.
A decade and change is substantial, but the good stuff is still easy to recall.
He was one of the best people I've ever known.
13 years brings strong bonds and grows a teenage boy.
This is my 13-year-old, and this is one of our besties.
13. It's enough time to dull sharp edges a bit for Tony.
It doesn't feel like it's yesterday anymore, like it used to.
What that time won't do is erase appreciation for those who helped that night. And no amount of time will ever cause Tony to forget why she's here.
But we still want people to know how important it is to us that we do this every year.
That was Ann Herbst reporting. The 720 Memorial Foundation will be holding their Day of Resilience next Saturday, the 26th. They'll have music, yoga, their annual 5K run walk, and a lot more activities. That runs from 7:30 in the morning to 3 p.m. again on the 26th. The event is free. It's at the Aurora Waterwise Reflection Garden near the Aurora Municipal Center. Tonight, 9 News reporter Janelle Finch joins us with a look at how first responders are also reflecting this weekend. Janelle?
13 years later, and first responders say that tragic night in Aurora feels like just yesterday. Summer can keep a police department busy, but even with all the calls for response,
wow, okay, here we are again.
Nothing distracts Boulder Police Chief Stephen Redfern when July 20th rolls around.
No matter how much time has passed, you tend to reflect and go back.
July 20th, 2012, Redfern was an officer with Aurora Police. He provided victim aid the night of the Aurora Theater shooting.
I remember as I'm rolling into the scene that night, thinking, okay, we've trained for this.
He says even with active shooter training, it can be hard to actually prepare for these situations.
I learned all of that through the theater shooting because I was a young police officer, running around with my hair on fire, doing all the fun stuff, and I thought I was invincible. And then the theater shooting happened, and and I know I had the same experience as a lot of my colleagues, where it kind of smacked us upside the face and said this was so much and so much to experience and see and deal with.
Redfern says the shooting changed how he spoke to his coworkers. Mental health is now more openly discussed.
A lot of times we check in with each other and just, hey, thinking about you today.
He says what hasn't changed is how common violence has become.
I don't get surprised when I hear that there's been a mass shooting. Every time I get an alert on my phone that there's been another mass violence thing, it kind of hits in the gut because I know what that department's about to go through.
Redfern says July 20th is a night he'll never forget, and he puts it in his policing.
We just have to do everything we can to respond better and smarter and hopefully prevent some of these on the front end.
Redfern says when other mass violence events have happened in other parts of the country, he tries to reach out and offer support. He says first responders carry trauma too, and no one should carry it alone. Janelle Finch, 9 News.
All right, Janelle, thank you. One of the survivors from that night is trying to turn this day, marked by tragedy, into something that could also give back to the community. Dylan Boxer and Vitalent hosted a blood drive today outside of the theater where the shooting happened. First time they've done the drive there. Dylan says that was on purpose.
I specifically wanted to do it here at the theater. I think it's really poetic to come back to the place of such a grisly event and make it one of giving and life and just pleasantry.
Vitalant says they got 26 donations today, and that will help save dozens of lives. Turning our attention to your other headlines, in Gunnison, the Blue Mesa Reservoir is back open tonight. It had been closed for 2 days while firefighters worked to get a handle on the South Rim fire that's burning in the Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park. The mesa reopened this afternoon at 3 o'clock. The fires burned more than 4,000 acres near Montrose. Right now, it's 21% contained. Fire officials say it could take weeks before they completely have that one under control. Elsewhere on the western slope, first responders continued to make progress on several wildfires, including the Sowbelly fire. That one's burning across 3 different counties, Mesa, Delta, and Montrose. It's now 66% contained. Fire officials say they're in mop-up mode right now. They're going into the wilderness, hosing down hot spots. That fire started thanks to lightning 10 days ago. It's burned almost 2,300 acres. Let's take a live look now from our camera near Loveland Ski Area, getting a little sense of what you could see as you head west of Denver, if you're heading into the mountains today versus if you're coming home. Traffic is moving-ish, right? It's a Sunday afternoon. We always expect a little slowdown. Skies are mostly clear at this hour. Let's bring in our Corey Reppenhagen now with a look at your forecast and how that kind of plays into fire danger.
Yeah, you know, it was another very hot and dry day on the western half of Colorado. You saw everybody returning from the high country where they enjoyed temperatures in the 70s over the last couple of days. But down here, we've been stuck in the 90s. We hit 90 again here in Denver. It's still pretty warm out there. We have a mix of clouds and sunshine across the area. It's 90 in downtown, 89 at the airport right now. Some showers across the state, just isolated in nature. Mostly focused right along the Front Range foothills. But the one strong storm we have going out here, we have a severe thunderstorm warning out in Kit Carson County, just to the north of Flagler. 1-inch hail possible with this storm. It should stay just to the north of I-70 over the next 40 minutes. Here on the Front Range, storms have been trying to come across, but they've been just kind of drying up in the downsloping air as they make their way through us. Tomorrow, we'll start out with sunshine at 6 a.m. and getting up to 93 degrees again. We have potential to get up a little bit warmer tomorrow. I'll talk about that coming up in the forecast, because look at these temperatures that are forecast for the area. We could hit 95 degrees in Denver tomorrow, Jenny.
Brutal. Okay, thank you, Corey. A 37-year-old woman and a 15-year-old girl were killed in Aurora last night. Police there believe their car was hit by a teenage driver who ran a red light. This happened at the intersection of Alameda and Airport Boulevard just before 3 o'clock this morning. The teenage driver is now in the hospital with serious injuries. Aurora police tell us that besides the driver running the red light, there also might have been speed as a factor here. No charges have been filed at this point, and nobody has been publicly identified. Also in Aurora, the second deadly crash now this weekend involving a teenage driver in just less than 24 hours. A 12-year-old boy died on Saturday after they were hit riding a scooter in a marked crosswalk near Chambers and Iliff. Police say the driver who hit them was 19 years old and, quote, not paying attention when they hit the boy. Charges are expected in that case. They've not yet been filed.